And hello again everyone, and welcome back to PTM Racing TV. And tonight, for the final time, the Rev Limit Racing Boys will do battle here for their season championship on this tough track known as Pocono Raceway. Hi again everyone, I'm Christian the Crusader Shriver. Welcome back here to the Tricky Triangle here in Pennsylvania here, and I'm joined with my good friend and colleague for tonight. Last time we can do this, buddy, but Jay Love is joined us on in the booth. Jay, how you doing out here, man?
I'm doing alright, Chris. Excited to call this championship race.
For sure there, and you have a pretty good idea who's going to be really the favorite and who are our top four here tonight, of course, but we'll get more into that here in a minute. Let's go ahead and talk about this track as we run it down just a little bit here. Let's get situated out here. Let's talk about this here. This is Pocono Raceway, if you couldn't figure that out. At 3 turns only, this is one of the most difficult tracks, in my opinion, to ever be placed onto a racing circuit for a multitude of reasons, but the main one being the progressive turns and the fact that each turn has a different style and setup to it, almost like a road course. As you take it through here into turn 1, you can see right here how banked in it is, how you got to take it down in there out of turn 1 and try to hold that bottom line, as I'm not doing the best job at that. You'll then bring it down to this backstretch. We call it the turn 1 backstretch, which then leads into this kind of half turn, if you will, for turn 2. This turn will definitely have a lot of pace and momentum for passing. Definitely a good area to try to make your move there when you need to. And then as you bring it on down out of the turn 2 backstretch, you'll bring it in finally to our final turn, which is turn 3. And you're going to see a lot of guys try to keep that car straight to the bottom and hold that area in sight as they make their long trip down to the very end of this race, down that front straightaway to the finish. And 65 laps of this here tonight, this definitely could be something to say the least here, Jordan.
Yeah, 65 laps here. And if you just don't get one turn right, it's going to mess up the next 2 laps.
I might want to ask you, why is that exactly?
Well, for one, like, let's take turn 2 for instance, the tunnel turn. And if you just get going in there at the wrong angle, you'll just slide up and hit the wall, and then you lose all your momentum going into turn 3. And you need a good exit of turn 3 to get a good entrance to turn 1. And it takes, because of these back stretches, the 2 in between 3 and 1 and 1 and 3, or 2 and 3, they're so long. So if you get out of the draft, then you're going to have a tough time making good lap times and still, getting around. So I say 3 laps because it takes a while to get the car back into shape and get it turning the right way again.
It's definitely going to be the case here tonight, and I feel as though that this track has been wielded to many incredible moments and incredible shows and stuff. But I'll definitely say though, man, yeah, like you did say, like, this is going to be more about who can handle the track and who can handle the turns. In my opinion though, this track has been known to garner some of the craziest finishes you'll ever see here on any channel or on any circuit. I mean, we've seen it before with the NASCAR series and with, of course, the Indy series, which is very prominent here. But this one to me just kind of comes off as a very, not so wholesome, but very unique setup and style that really garners this for a very unique race, of course. So this being the Tricky Triangle, I'm very, it's kind of odd to me and very interested that they actually have this being the final race of the season. You would have think it had been more like a track like Michigan or Kansas or something like that, but that's the random draw of it all, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They definitely did a random draw for the whole schedule, so they had no idea where it was going to go where. But I actually think this is a really good track to have a championship race on.
Definitely for sure there. But as we get situated out here and get ready to go, this is the last time we will see the Rev Limit Racing Boys here on the PTM Racing TV stream, unless something is to come up, because we will actually have something new coming for the streams over on Facebook for Monday nights. You'll catch all that next week, but for now, let's make sure we send these drivers off with a bang and a celebration of a great season and a great battle throughout the times. It's definitely time to get this one up and running, and definitely time to get one last big moment of racing in here.
Yes.
All right, well, stream is shared around here, guys. And if you guys could at home, also share us around. Make sure they subscribe over here on YouTube. We have exclusive content coming your way. But the Rev Limit Racing boys are just about ready to go. I'm getting word from the command that the race officials are telling the drivers to line up in position. We're about to go green here in just a little bit.
Yes, also the 17 on the pole.
And Morgan, he once again takes home the pole position. He will hold on to that position to start. And you want to go ahead and tell the race fans at home our top 4 here tonight again?
Yes, our championship 4 will be the 17 of NM Morgan, who's on the pole. Your second place driver will be the 51 of CJ Creaky, who is also racing for a championship. Matt Parkhurst is in third. And your final championship 4 tonight is War Daddy with the 8 car in 5th.
That definitely tells you the tale, and it'll definitely be interesting to see who's going to be able to come out where in this position. There's a lot of racing to be had here and a lot of great moments to be sure. Folks, I think if anything, this is going to be one for the ages if they can get this one figured out. There's a lot of heat between these drivers and a lot of battles that they have commenced each and every time out, and you know one thing, they want to try and win this last one. Whether it's for a season championship or not, a lot of them probably want to at least clear that one out of their name. They want the big one. They want that win.
Yeah, yes. Any win is special during these league races, but to win the championship or just to win the season finale here is going to be special and give you momentum into the next season. So, but I ultimately believe one of our championship 4 will walk away with a win today.
Absolutely, for sure, man. All right, guys. Well, we've just got the countdown counter going, so it looks like now they are ready to go here. We're just taking one last look at some of the other cars and some of these youngsters and all them that, you know, kind of have gone from the Pro Series and all that, of course, into possibly hoping to one day clear their name into the big series, of course, with the NASCAR guys and the Xfinity trucks and the Cup Series. But for now, though, we are ready to go here. We're waiting for the call, and it's time to go down and watch this one play out. It's the final race of the season for the Rev Limit Racing Boys. Championship is on the line.
I am excited.
I'm definitely excited too, man. I'm ready to see what these guys can do and how this one's going to whip out tonight. Lot of nerves, lot of excitement. I can tell you right now, I've seen that earlier. I talked with them earlier. It's definitely going to be a big one. DePaulos has joined us on in real quick on YouTube. She's saying good luck to everyone. Scott Kaysen has joined on in saying come on, Matt, CJ, and Ward Daddy, and then Morgan, put on a show, fellas. Thank you to everybody that tunes on in, and we do appreciate you guys watching us live right now. We hope you will enjoy the show. Let's go ahead and take it down to Pennsylvania's own Pocono Raceway for the championship event for Rev Limit Racing Series. The drivers are ready. We're lined up. We're stacked up. It is time to go here, folks. Off the start of the front straightaway, the green flag flies. We are underway.
There's quite a few drivers in the field tonight who has 48 scheme in honor of Jimmy Johnson's retirement yesterday.
Definitely for sure there. It's good to see all the drivers kind of coming together, kind of saluting off one last time to a fellow friend and a good driver out there, being Jimmy Johnson. Them Hendrick Motorsports guys, man, they've been getting a lot of love as of late. Here comes Matt Parkhurst in that 77 now, trying to work it on in there. CJ Creaky doing a little bit of a hard battle there as they come off turn 2. Some going right into the wall there, but they managed to hold it off pretty good there. Off the start immediately here as they bring him on down.
As we're going into turn 3 here, you got the 7.
The 17 there, and then Morgan still holding his own, doing his own line here. The 48 there, right in the spot. That's JG Galladay looking to take over into the third spot. He's looking to try to get a move going. Parker's trying to make his move though. He is in the championship 4. He wants to win this one tonight.
Yes, he does. He is really hungry. And to think, you know, a couple of weeks ago he wasn't even in the playoffs. Now he's racing for a championship.
Absolutely, it's crazy.
The 8 car of War Daddy has spun out and going into turn 1. It appears this car is getting a little loose.
So he'll have to try to tighten that up and get it fixed up a little bit later as they come out of turn 2 here. CJ Creaky in that 51 getting a little bit bobbly there. Holds on and gets it situated back out. I think he had a pretty good battle there with JG Galladay as a 17 of N. Morgan overdrives out of turn 3, opens the door. Matt Parkhurst makes him pay for it. He takes the lead from there.
Yeah, Matt Parker's got a good strong car tonight. I expect to see him up front a lot this race.
If you had to say there's a favorite, would you say that he would be that guy tonight?
I think so. My favorite was the 8, but he is almost half a lap down, so his chances to win are pretty slim.
I wouldn't say that. He's still got stage points he can get around and still get that situated back out to run around. I'd say, if anything, my favorite tonight, honestly, even though N. Morgan's kind of struggling right now, I think he's going to be the favorite to win because he's just been consistent all season long, and he has kind of that underdog flavor to him. To me, to where like I've seen CJ Creaky and I've seen, you know, Matt Parkhurst and I've seen what, you know, Haybale can do, obviously, and they're always on it here, but something about N. Morgan tonight to me just screams like he has a good chance if he can get things situated out. We'll see how that plays out though as he gets right in the wall at turn 3.
Yeah, right when he comes on the wall. That's what I was just about to say. You want a mistake-free race tonight, and 2 of our contenders has had mistakes. But I want to note that 77 car is just driving it into turn 1, and he's making it stick down there. As you see, that's how he got such a good run off.
He's definitely holding his own and really making his line here. There's one thing that we were told from drivers in previous times and in the past was when you're running Pocono, there's only one thing you can do, and that's find one turn to work better than anything else and just kind of heat turn 2 kind of in that same direction. You cannot find a way to master all 3 or 4 turns. It's impossible here, they say.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. The 51 has a big run coming out of turn 3.
He definitely does. Parker's getting a little looser out of turn 3, actually, and you see what we're talking about there. He can hit turn 1 extremely hard, but turn 3, maybe not so much here, as CJ Creaky has now moved it on into the race lead here. We've already had quite a few pass-ups here. Creaky gets a nice run there out of turn 1. He takes over that race lead.
Yes, he does, and he has a perfect turn 2, in my opinion.
Well, let's see what they're talking about here, folks. So let's go ahead and show you this real quick. You see him coming off turn 2. He just angles it perfectly off that apex in the middle, slings it on down that back straightaway out of turn 2, and manages to hold his own line there. And that's what he's talking about there. To me, his turn 3, I would say it's probably his second strongest, because turn 1, he seems like he's been overdriving it just a little bit, but you know, Matt Parker's kind of had a bad turn there, and it definitely cost him time, but he seems to be getting turn 1 pretty figured out, but this track is definitely eating them away a little bit here.
Yeah, it is. Like I say, you make a mistake and it can ruin 2 or 3 laps, and as you see, the 77 has fell way back.
He definitely is indeed here as the 17 of N. Morgan still has a nice little spot of position going. He works on through here on down turn 1. Bows it on back here as the rest of our field continues on through here. Everybody still maintaining their grip and still maintaining their line, doing their own thing here. As enough said in the number 1 machine. Whoa, gets right up into the 48 there, JG Galladay. Enough said, he's had a pretty good season, and all things considered, in my opinion. He just never got over that hump, though, that Haybale, CJ Creaky, Parkhurst, and Morgan, and a few others really have just been absolutely tearing up out there.
Yeah, they are running. They're the most consistent drivers in this league. And it is pretty fitting at why they're the championship.
I definitely can agree to that there. And of course, the viewing for all your intensive viewership here on PTM Racing TV. As you see, enough said, trying to apex it right off the bottom line. That's another line you can hit off turn 1. You can go a little bit in the middle. You can play more towards the bottom to apex it off of. But enough said, not quite able to get the momentum run he wants there. And there's one thing also that you see with JG Galladay that I'm going to bring up right now is you see him kind of trying to swerve him off him or trying to move away from lining that car up to his. He's trying to avoid the draft to build up momentum to get around him there. That's something that a lot of folks are not aware of, is that draft is a dangerous aspect to winning or losing a race.
Yeah, especially on the track with these long straightaways where the draft can just suck you right in behind him and have a run. That is a beautiful 48 paint scheme that JKG has.
It definitely is indeed here, man. It looks good. It looks awesome. And, you know, I got to be honest with you, man. It's going to be kind of sad not seeing Jimmy Johnson there anymore. I mean, I love watching him racing as a kid, but, you know, as time has grown on, I realize I'm getting older and he's not getting any younger. So, you know, this is just one of those things. You just kind of got to realize that you have to live with it. But, you know, I mean, all things considered, I wish nothing but the best to Jimmy, and I hope he does pretty good here in Indy. I hope the Indy guys are ready for him because I think he might have a shot there.
Right, yeah, I think he's gonna show these IndyCar drivers what our NASCAR driver can do in them cars.
For sure there. Well, right now as we lead them on through here, CJ Creaky still leads stage 1 here by a good chunk of a margin. As you see, War Daddy in that number 8 machine trying desperately to get that Ally 8 back into the hunt. He's currently falling further and further back. He's actually got the 24 machine of Axe Murder right behind him here, kind of trying to see if maybe he can get something going with him.
It's the 88 is on pit road. I don't know if this is a scheduled stop. That will be Haybell.
Judging by times and everything situated out here, I would not think it would be. I would think, if anything, it's more towards kind of just wanting to get a better set of tires on there and getting more tuned up for the later half of this next run coming up. But I could be very wrong there. I've definitely been wrong before when it comes to these things.
Right. We've all been wrong. We can't get it 100% right all the time. But I do think he's anticipating the rest of the field not have enough fuel to make it. So he is trying to be the first one on pit road, so he has an advantage.
Well, right now, the way things are situated out, CJ Creaky's gone in pit road, which opens the door up to Ed Morgan to take the race lead away. I'm going to be honest right now, there's 5 laps left here in stage 1. I think, in all honesty, what these guys are trying to do is they're trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the fuel run that will come later in the race. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to take as much fuel as they can out now, but then add it back, and as they add more and more in, they can set it up to where it's like one last lap they have to get through, and then that literally will be all they need to win it. And that's very strong strategy. Can be very tricky when it comes to certain things, but I mean, you know, we've seen some crazier things happen here, so we'll see how that one plays out for him. But right now, the end Morgan in that 17, he's got enough set in the number 1, kind of slowly bringing it back up, and it looks like Morgan is going in pit road now, trying not to fall victim to possibly getting passed up by some drivers as Matt Parkhurst now brings it back around.
Yeah, I think 4 other guys pitted there with the 51 and right there.
I think so indeed too. There, if you guys take a quick listen at how hard they are having to downshift off those turns and how to let it loose there. Parkhurst, man, he just had a kind of a weird turn, I think. He had backed his corners up, burped the throttle a lot more than I think he should have. I don't know if maybe that was just to set it up for a different area or what that was for, but I mean, that's so far it seems to still hold out all right.
Right. I think a lot of drivers tend to try to diamond turn 1 and make it as straight as possible, the back straight as possible, so they can enter turn 2 down there on the apron, so they can kind of cut that straight to it. Which, if you do both of them things, your turn 3 is going to be really easy.
Definitely for sure there. I mean, the way I kind of look at things though when I've been running this track, and whether it's on the heat or it's on iRacing, is that my biggest problem is I always, and I mean always, try to rotate the car in on turn 1 here onto the bottom apex and try to let it just kind of ride out and then come back up. And then literally once you bring it down that back stretch of turn 1 and get it in turn 2, that's when I'll diamond it off for turn 2 to try to rotate it back into turn 3 and let it just kind of sit there and just run off and rotate. But that's more towards my kind of style because I'm more of a long run kind of guy, and it always seems to work more for me. Instead of trying to get speed, it's more or less just trying to stabilize the car and get more hang time out there. But I mean, right now these guys that have gone in pit road here, first pit strategy as well as for gas, they seem to all be holding out just fine here.
Right, the work hard enough said is your leader right now. So we'll see how it all plays out. The 8 car hasn't pitted, so I think he's trying to save as much fuel as he can.
I think he is indeed. I think he's just trying to actually get out there and stay ahead of the lap counter here because he knows that if he gets lapped up, that can be big trouble for him later. Still, though, as much damage as he's got on that machine there, it still looks pretty good for being the Ally car.
Yeah, it definitely does. He still has a pretty decent amount of speed. I don't get worried about him getting lapped so much right now.
For sure there, but nevertheless, as they continue on through here, only 2 laps left to go out of this one. I think it should just be 1 lap because I believe the one of, enough said, is currently, well, he's going in pit road here on that final lap, it looks like. That might be an interesting strategy here on Montanism, and I don't know if that is in the rule book. Are they able to do that? Because I know in other leagues we are not allowed to do that.
Legally, no. But he's not racing for a championship.
That's true.
What he's doing right now is he's coming into pit road, and then when the leader crosses the start finish line, he will be the leader because he's going to not pit at the end of the stage.
That is for sure there, folks, and that's kind of why we had to ask, was that a legal move? Because we've had conversations before from other leagues, and I even could tell you from first-hand experience working with one that, you know, that's not a move you're allowed to do or you should be doing. It's more of a courtesy thing, if anything, but it's also just a rule of thumb. You don't do that when there's like 1 or 2 to go, because that honestly kind of screws up the whole pit strategy as well. But yeah, it's just one of those things with stage racing, man. You have to learn from it and you have to get off of it. But nevertheless, right now, In Morgan is ahead at CJ Creaky coming down to his final lap here. And he's just hard charging and through, trying to stay ahead of him. And I believe in first right now was War Daddy, I think. I think he stayed out there for the whole time, did he not?
He did, but he's currently P2.
Don't know about that because In Morgan currently is P2 at the moment. Well, we'll find out here in a minute. Stage 1 is now complete. I think Matt Parkhurst actually. Yep, he was the race winner there for stage 1. So Matt Parkhurst will be the man ahead at stage 1 with In Morgan falling behind and CJ Creaky in third. Hey, Bell, talk about this, man. He got the 4th slot, and War Daddy managing to fight his way back up to the top. He managed to get a 5th place finish despite all the damage to that 8 machine.
Yeah, I think he ran out of gas there at the end.
Well, it seemed to hold out just fine, though. It still ran, at least, so that's the good news.
Right. At least he got it. At least he'll have enough to get pushed back to pit road.
Yep, but for sure, there actually he did, it looks like he did run out of gas. He was finished 8th in that one, stage 1. So, we'll see if he can bring it back here for this next one by. And, I mean, honestly, right now, this is looking pretty good for the drivers. They just got to kind of stay focused and do their own thing here. And make sure that they don't let something get to them or let anything get by them. Obviously, there are other drivers out here like that Oozle boy, Hey Bale, we mentioned earlier, and Axe Murder, enough said. You know, another time in that 42 machine. I mean, they're all definitely here and they're all definitely battling for, you know, a race win. But let's be honest here, folks, the season championship belongs to our top 4, and they all want that one more than anything.
Yeah, they do. I believe these 4 guys are sweating bullets right now, trying to get that chassis and everything just right.
Ooh, hold on out of turn 1. Hold your horses. A 3 wide salute nearly commits it. Almost at a 4 wide salute there out of turn 1. They hold it by. Enough said, though. Gets a nice tap there from Matt Parkhurst. And Parkhurst now trying to reel it back in. While Miller Time in that 42 just does his own thing, hanging on to this one. Right out of that start, a strong start for stage 2 for some of these drivers, not so much for others. As then Morgan now has to pull it on through here out of turn 2. He's making a hard charge to the race lead.
That was a beautifully executed pass right there. That was textbook.
He had to go and do a 3 wide salute there with CJ Creaky and Miller Time while Miller Time was going on in, and Matt Parker's kind of following the outside, I should say, of Miller Time, not CJ Creaky. And it ended up costing Parker's quite a bit to go that high up, but I mean, it doesn't seem to have hurt him too much right now because In Morgan's not running away from him just yet. He's still got CJ Creaky to deal with back there.
Yeah, he does, and that 51 machine has definitely found some speed on pit road.
Definitely for sure there right now as they bring it on down that turn 1 back straightaway here. The draft starting to come up to CJ Creaky. Remember what I said earlier about that, folks. You're going to really see them try to get that front bumper right in, and then as soon as they're about to hit the turn, they'll slingshot it straight in so quick. Yeah, I thought that they were literally trying to play a Zippo on them.
Yeah, dude, definitely. You gotta, if you time the run right in the corner, you'll be easily be able to just drive right somebody coming out.
Definitely for sure there as they continue on down around. Top 3 drivers are on the move here. And Morgan trying to hold off some tough competitors here, looking to possibly punch his championship win. And at the end of the day, folks, also we want to remind you we will talk with our season champion at the end of the race. So just aware of that right now. So if you want to tune on out after we're done with the race, I would not recommend it. I would try to stick around just to hear what our driver had to say about the entire series and the entire season here tonight. And it just heads up for everyone at home that's watching from Facebook or YouTube. This is also a free to join league for Rev Limit. They will be they'll be free to talk to, and they always are a group of guys that I can definitely tell you can get things figured out with and have some fun with for sure. They are running on PS4 as well for anybody that is considering it, just so everyone's aware of that. And look at this now, down the front straightaway. Here comes CJ Kariki to the inside line, and Morgan gave up the draft and gave him some movement. He gave him room, gave him a position, and Creaky is going to make him pay for that. And Morgan trying to hold it on the outside line, try to stick it in there. But Matt Parkhurst now makes a move around him. A daily double has been performed on in Morgan there. And it's not the kind he likes.
No, I definitely think he's a little frustrated at what just happened. But at the end of the day, you got to shrug it off, put it in the back of your memory, and just go try to pass that 51 again.
I always said you never get mad or upset unless you're spun out, crashed, or literally something goes wrong to where it's going to mess you up for the rest of the race. You don't ever get mad until that race is over with. You have to stay focused. You have to put it in the back of your mind like you just said there. And remember the P's and Q's and focus on the goal.
Right. You never want a frustrated driver in this race could cost a championship.
Cost you a championship, and it could cost you literally everything you've worked for out of a, what was this, like a 10-12 week period we've had here? Yeah,
somewhere around there. 2 races a week. It's a 26 race schedule.
So a 13-week all-around schedule. That's a lot of racing, and that's a lot of battling, to say the least here. And that always can be significant to who can survive and who can win. It's always hard to really keep up with that schedule. It's hard to really keep the momentum going through every time when they're battling for the race win.
Yeah, it definitely is, because if you're in the leader, what you're doing is worrying about what the guy in second and third's going to do. And if you're in second, you're trying to worry about what the leader's going to do, so you can get around.
Speaking of the drivers in the back here, real quick, let's go ahead and take a look at this here. JG Galladay has that 88 of hay bale right on his sights as Miller time, and that's 42 machine trying to stay out of trouble and stay out of the way here, but as he brings on to round out of turn 1 here, JG now makes a big move there on the inside line, making his chance there known. He's looking to try to hopefully build up something here to get around all of them here as he brings it on down.
Right, and I don't think he's going to be clear off 2 here because of how high he's running up.
No, I would definitely not say that at all, but right now out of turn 2 there actually, you saw Matt Parkhurst and Morgan get into a little bit there. Parkhurst managing to stay clear of trouble, but Ed Morgan managing to take that spot away from him here. Good driving on there, and that was a pretty textbook pass to say the least here off Ed Morgan off turn 2.
Yeah, he got some confidence in that car.
He definitely does indeed as they continue on the front straightaway here. The run definitely going towards Ed Morgan and trying to build back up into this one here. He's still on a hunt and on a mission to try to finish this one out and become a season champion here. Right on around out of turn 1 here. You can see everybody still kind of jockeying for position here. JG is falling further in the back here, kind of losing ground and time up. That 24 of Axe Murder has made a pass on by, and War Daddy starting to make a war charge right now to this one.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit. He was up the 5th earlier on in the stage, and then had a little contact with someone, and it put him back in 8th. But he's climbing his way back up to 6th.
Definitely is indeed. I don't know, man. This could get interesting here, folks. I don't know. That last stage might just make the difference here for War Daddy, because stage 1 and 2 is definitely not giving him the runs, in my opinion, he's looking for, or what he wants. He's been kind of battling the car a little bit and kind of battling the other drivers behind him. I mean, I know we're on Pocono because of the random draw, but I think, if anything, he wasn't really expecting to have to run this hard or have to run this this troublesome to get to where he's at right now.
Yeah, I talked to him a few days ago, actually, and he said he felt confident that he would have a good car. But I don't think he was confident everybody else would have that much of a better car than him.
Yeah. Nevertheless, though, still doing his own thing, kind of working on by.
Yeah, he's up to P4 now, so the playoff drivers are 1 through 4. He has got a lot of ground to make up to catch up with the other 3.
For sure there. As they continue on down around on that straightaway here, down and about, they go on by. They are still trying to hold on to their position here and trying to see what they can do here.
Yeah, CJ Creaky he's found some speed in this car. And I think Morgan is going to go back and put tape on his grill and tighten it up. It's just a tear when they come down for green flag pit stops here in a few laps.
Definitely for sure there. Right now, Parker's now looking for a move to the inside there, or maybe the outside line there of In Morgan on that front straightaway. He couldn't quite clear it. And that pretty much is keeping In Morgan in bay here, keeping his own run and spot around. He hasn't lost time here. He just can't get around him is all.
Yeah, he's definitely making that 17 Ford a lot wider than what it is. And I think the 77 should be able to clear him coming out of turn 2.
On through and through they go down on the front stretch of turn 1. Turn 2 they go here. Matt Parkhurst makes the pass on by, and then Morgan just slingshots it right there. That's what we call the old slingshot maneuver. You make a pass on one end, you can't clear him on the other, and then Morgan just literally took that one on through him.
Yeah, the 17 knew exactly what the 77 was going to do. So what he did was backed off the turn and then just drove right around him on a crossover move. There.
For sure there. Oh, look at this. Oh, Miller Time getting right in there with Axe Murder. And unfortunately causing a lot of damage up on the McDonald's 42 machine. Hard hit there, to say the least here.
This track is known to take some hard licks.
For sure there. But I mean, still, you don't want to do too much damage to these things. It may be the last race, but you don't want to total that car out and piss everyone off when it comes to everything else going on in the team spot-wise.
No, you don't. The 77 got around the 17, but hit the wall, so the 17's right back around the 70. This is a good battle.
It definitely is indeed.
And the 51 is loving every bit of it just as much as we are.
Yeah, CJ Krieg, you want to know how far he is right now? He is literally this far ahead on the front straightaway here. He is just absolutely flying by. He's not giving any chances up on this one.
Yeah, what's causing that is these two racing each other so hard is making it 51 just drive right on about this way.
Definitely is indeed. He continues on through here, still running his own line, running his own race. Now back to the battle here between the second place drivers of In Morgan and Matt Parkhurst. Obviously neither one want to play for second here when it comes down to the season championship, but for now they can't seem to get off each other's backs here, and yet again the crossover for Parkhurst does not wield him an advantage. And Morgan managing to sneak his way across yet again, but fuel is now starting to become an issue here for them folks. I think they're starting to burn up a little bit more as they go on by. They've got to start figuring out what they want to do here.
Right, 17, 51, 77. The top three is coming out pit road this time by.
Top three is off, and they're coming on around. War Daddy, though, he stays out. I'm very curious to see if he's going to keep going with this one and see if maybe he can work it all the way through to the end.
I think the 8 car is going to pit next time by. I don't necessarily agree with that strategy, but we'll see how it plays out.
I've never been a big fan of kind of going at the lap after somebody. I always try to like find a way to kind of get in there when they go in, so I can try to match their speed and everything. But you know, I don't mind the strategy actually, because War Daddy, he's got a lot of damage on that car. He's got a lot of issues going down there, and it looks like some folks are actually going in pit side here. They're taking some tires and taking a fuel run as well. So
Yeah.
I think that definitely shows that he's got time to kind of make up on the ground here. But I would definitely not be trying to mess with any of that damage up until literally they get into the final stage, and that's when they can get a full instant repair there.
Right, yeah. You definitely don't want to repair on green flag stops. It takes too much time. The reason why I don't like this strategy that the 8 car's doing is pitting literally 1 lap after you. That's all the fuel that you can do. If you have 4 more laps of fuel, I would maybe say okay to try to stay out and wait for a caution.
That might be their strategy, might be the kind of the way he's thinking it, but I mean, to me, I don't know. I would have not have done what he done right there. I would have, like you said, we probably would have just kind of either waited it out and see what happens, or I would have definitely tried to, you know, get a little bit further into this one with those guys and then go in when they have to, so that way we at least know how to run the final stage in. But you know, honestly, we've said it before, we'll say it again, the final stage has wielded some incredible moments and definitely some strange and unique finishes that a lot of people don't know about. So I'm for sure thinking this can go either way here.
Yeah, it definitely can. He comes off 5th, and I think he lost 3 seconds on pit road to the leaders.
So he's not too far ahead in this case, and he's not too far off. But CJ Creaky, if you're wondering, folks, is still your race leader here. And Morgan currently still, I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, but he's battling with 77 and Matt Parkhurst. As they bring it on around turn 3, you see the axe murderer himself, the 24 there, having to do battle with Miller Time. And the 42, and kind of doing a same crossover move out of turn 3 here, battling around. There you go. Makes a nice pass, does Miller Time to get that run off him.
Yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful textbook crossover movement there.
It was indeed, and Axe Murder is desperately trying to hold on for what it's worth and trying to stay ahead of that 42 machine, but Miller Time, man, he is not giving him an inch, and he's not giving him any room for mistakes. Both drivers just kind of holding on to their spot here, doing their own thing. This could get interesting coming down the wire here.
Definitely could. There's only 2 battles going on the track, and we're watching one of them. Everybody else is all by themselves. As you see, the 1 car starting to peak in the background here between the 24 and 42.
It definitely is indeed. Right now, though, folks, we are at 10 laps left in this one. It looks like fuel strategy, it might get a little tricky. Let's just say that. And I say that because here's the thing. They are literally about 1 lap or right on that lap of being short. So this could be a moment of, okay, how hard do we want to run and how hard do we need to kind of let off the throttle so we can at least let the gas kind of cool down. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I mean, strategy-wise, though, right now, definitely everybody has got the same strategy. Just wait until you can and then go in when you have to. And I think War Daddy might have actually outsmarted all of us there.
War Daddy is for sure +1 to the good.
It definitely is indeed as they bring it on down that front straightaway here. And Morgan still desperately trying to find some momentum, find a way to get ahead of that 77 on Matt Parkhurst, and then finally get one big run onto CJ Creaky here. But it looks like they're kind of falling further and further away from one another, kind of pulling ahead, are they? And War Daddy right now, as long as he can just stay consistent and kind of do his own thing, fuel runs out, I think honestly he might just have a way to actually take them out here, and that would definitely be probably the most interesting strategy I think I've ever seen, and the best strategy I've seen in quite some time, despite the fact he does have a little damage there.
Yeah, they appear to, the top 3 guys appear to be short going into turn 3. So that is when I'm projecting them to run out of fuel right when they enter turn 3, so hopefully they'll have enough to get them on by the stripe there.
I mean, it's already hard enough having to deal with these turns in general, but what goes through a guy's mind when you have to also try to figure out a fuel strategy and still find a way to get those tires in and get things situated out? Because I know you and I are both racers. We both know how that is, but what goes through your mind when you deal with this kind of situation?
Definitely it would be to back off the corners and not use any throttle on any other corners. And I know in real life you crew chief like, hey, I need to get these lap times, but you gotta save fuel. So my way of saving fuel is just to not use any throttle in any of the corners. As you see, the 77's barely in the throttle, or the 17, sorry, it's barely in the throttle. And he's trying to save that much fuel, and he'll just coast around.
So, I would say, if anything as well, I'm kind of agreeing with you on that, packing your corners up. There's one thing I've learned from the iRacing circuits is that, that really a lot of people don't know about when it comes to the heat stuff that actually does work, is that when I'm on a certain track and I'm on a certain area, I always clutch in to kind of keep the car, obviously off the throttle and off the pace, but what that does is it kind of locks up that fuel line to not allow it to burn up any more area when the car is trying to downshift in. Instead, it basically just kind of lets it reel it back in and let it settle down. So clutching, in my opinion, is a huge factor to helping keep the car stable, but for these cup cars, they can't really clutch in that much considering there's not a lot of banking and not a lot of areas that can really let the car settle in. So really, like you said, this is going to be more of, let's just try to lay off those corners and lay off the spot and just kind of roll off it more, so that way fuel doesn't become an issue, because the only areas you're really going to have is those front stretch on those straightaways and the front stretch, and that's it. That's all you get.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to clutch in on the Heat 5 because not everybody's runs pedals.
I can tell you one thing, it's definitely a must in my opinion if you want to get further into racing stuff, but because there really is a different feel than running a controller versus running a wheel and a set of pedals. And I mean, even the pro guys will tell you that. Everyone, obviously, I know the iRacing guys will tell you that, and there's a few mainstays out there like Project Cars also that would tell you that stuff, but that to me is just really what it's all about, sometimes.
Right, yeah. Pedals and a wheel is the way to go on any racing game, because it gives you a more feel for the car and more fun experience.
For sure there, but I mean, so far everybody has been pretty tame, pretty consistent on how they want to run this one and how they want to battle it on in. With only 5 laps to go here at stage 2, this is going to be an interesting one to see how that fuel run plays in. War Daddy right now, currently, he's starting to make a hard charge to some drivers here. That Oozle boy in the number 9 and the 20, and the 88, I should say, of Abel. I'm used to saying the 20, tonight he's in the 88 of all things. It's starting to look more and more like War Daddy might have the better strategy here.
Yeah, I just don't think he has enough time to catch him unless they're saving drastically. Because I know he's not saving at all. You just see, just hear his throttle. He's barely lifting. He's on the move right now.
He definitely is. He has to make the move around Oozle boy there. That number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Obviously representative of what Chase Elliott's winner's car there for, of course, his season championship here in NASCAR Cup Series. But, I mean, right now, yeah, War Daddy, we were on board with him for a minute there, and you heard it live there, folks. He's got a full throttle assault in that thing right now, going down and around and just building up more and more momentum. As enough said there, number 1, I think might have had a little bit of a scruffle there with the 42 of Miller time, unfortunately, causing some serious issue there. They get into it out of turn 3 there, and enough said spins it on around through the grass plains. Not sure what happened there, but he's going in pit road there.
I don't know if he was wrecked on the pit road or if he just came out pit road.
He wasn't wrecked on pit road. He was kind of in the grass there out of turn 3, and he just kind of spun it on around, and then he put it back into pit road to get it situated out. I'm not sure, though, what was the situation there between them. Three laps left at stage 2 here, and fuel strategy I think might be working into the favor there of In Morgan and Parker's finally, and CJ Creaky just, well, he's kind of in his own land right now. He's just doing his own thing.
Yeah, he's not worried about nothing right now. He's probably the most relaxed of the 4 we have.
Definitely for sure there. I mean, he's right now just been absolutely killing it this season, defying odds and defying terms and strategies. He has definitely been one of those guys that everybody wants to see beat, and everybody wants to be that guy or gal that beats him. He's tough, man.
He's got 13 wins this year.
That's really that's literally a one race a week a win.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I couldn't do that. My best I've ever done, I think, was like 4 in a row, and then I won the season championship that season. I was just like, all right, I think I'm never gonna get any better than that.
Right? Yeah, he is dominated. He started off the season kind of slow, and then he found his groove and won, I think, 8 in a row.
Well, as they're bringing on through here, it looks like they're starting to really slow up as in Morgan and Matt Parker. I'm not seeing them run as hard there, obviously, for obvious reasons. I think they're starting to get a little worried. They may not have enough. Because as you go on board here, you can hear in Morgan really just kind of lay into that throttle, but he's really backing off those corners. And Parkhurst,
I think he's out.
I think he just ran out as well. I think he's got a big problem coming. He knows he's in trouble. He's going to try to get one more lap in, though, to try to finish this out. CJ Creaky, though, I don't even know how the heck he's doing it, but he is just on his game tonight. We'll see if he can complete this last lap of stage 2, which then will lead into our final stage. And boy, oh boy, what a heated one this is going to be here, folks. This is definitely the one they've all been waiting for and they all want more than anything.
Yeah, this is the most important drive of their careers right now.
One of the most important drives of their careers and one of the most important areas of expertise that will come across, because again, this track being more like a road course, this has been a hard setup to figure out. It's been a hard setup to win, and you know, I gotta believe coming off the series and everything they've done, you know, CJ Creaky is going to take home stage 2, but I gotta believe, man, this is going to be one of the hardest races that they're going to deal with, because of the fact that this is the final stage and this is their final chance at becoming a champion.
Right, yes. And they say just enough fuel.
I am honestly impressed by that. That is not easy to do, and yet they somehow found a way to do it. That is impressive to me. Alright, so real quick in the chat here, we just got a word. Justin Burke has joined us on in. He's saying, let's go, Matt, cheering you on, buddy. Thanks for joining us on in, buddy, and we hope you guys are enjoying this so far. We're going to get one last stage race in for this Rev Limit Racing Series, and then this is it. This is where it all comes crashing down, and this is where it comes to an end. But don't worry, the Rev Limit Racing, I believe, we'll have a broadcast with other folks here, and of course, I know Jay Love, you'll be helping them out occasionally with stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be the full-time Monday and Thursday broadcaster. So if you guys are still interested in this league, the YouTube channel is Rev Limit Racing League, and you can hear me talk about these guys drive.
There you go, folks. If you wanted to figure out where to go and where to be, look up Rev Limited Racing on YouTube, and also check them out on Facebook, and be sure to message them up if you want to join there as well. As we get to our final time around, this is the final opportunity, the final chance. Here we go. The stage 3 is initiated. CJ Creaky already, he's off to a hard start to the bottom here. He brings on around in Morgan, desperately trying to make the early pass by him. Can't quite hold him off there. Can't quite get in there just yet as the rest of the field works it on through. I see Miller 3 wide still going there between Miller Time, JG Galladay, and Haybale. Haybale backs the heck off of that one. He says forget about that. As then Morgan tries to get a run there on the inside line. He can't quite pull the switcheroo he did with Parkhurst, but Parkhurst makes CJ Creaky pay for that one right there. He makes a nice pass on turn 2 and kind of doing what Morgan was doing to him earlier. He finally gets it around there out of turn 3.
Yeah, he does. The 51 has kind of a run. I don't know if the run will be good enough to get around him. We'll see how they both enter turn 1 and see who gets a better position to get around.
They'll take it side by side on the front straightaway as they bring it on around in Morgan now. Whoa, bump there. 3 wide salute between the race leaders. These guys want this one more than anything. JG Galladay is desperately trying to hang clear. and Morgan trying to help him out as well as try to get these guys back up. The draft now will come into effect, and now if I gotta say anything, I think this might just determine who's going to be your race champion in the next 5 laps. And here we go yet again, another 3 wide slip coming on out around turn 3, and then Morgan gives a nice tap to CJ Creaky, but that just opened the door up to Parkhurst to get around him and make a huge move to get ahead here.
8 cars spinning around.
I think Ward Daddy, I hate saying it, but I think this might have been the end for him tonight. He had a hard run and a good finish there, of course, last week, but just can't quite come clear of the series and just can't quite win it all here, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that pretty much 20 laps to go. I don't think he has enough to get it back to where it needs to be. Yeah, cautions can come out. He's coming to pit road, which is definitely putting the lap down.
Definitely for sure there right now, though. Here comes that hot rod rowdy number 51 machine. CJ Creaky makes a big pass on by there around JG Galladay, and Morgan knows he's coming. Here comes a full throttle assault from Creaky to Morgan. Morgan can't hold him off on the bottom there. Creaky gets a nice jump in position, and the 77 on Matt Parkhurst makes his move and makes his time by. He needs to start getting ahead here a little bit more, though, because if CJ Creaky gets around him, I think it's his to lose.
I think so too. He is so fast.
Hey, real quick, guys, just heads up here. We got Justin Burke asked, where can I get a hold of you guys at? I'd like to see about commentating our Gran Turismo League. For me, anyway, me being the Crusader, for PTM Racing TV, I will be unfortunately too busy to do any Monday night stuff on all that. And I believe, J-Love, I think you will be a little bit busy here as too, unfortunately, right?
To do what?
The fella's asking maybe about a possible commentating league and all that.
I don't know of any leagues that need a commentator right now. I could always use help. You know, if he's interested in that.
We'll let you guys determine that later. Probably shouldn't have brought it up in the stream, but nevertheless, guys, let's get back up here real quick. We'll bring him on down the front straightaway here. CJ Creaky now making his move here, trying to make a big pass on by there as a 17 of N. Morgan looking to try to hang on to this one here. Working on around out of turn 1 they go here. CJ Creaky now desperately trying to get one last hard charge, one last opportunity at victory. And this being the season championship, that's all he wants.
Yeah, I think the 77, Matt Parker's got a little aggressive on pit road. It's paying off, but I don't know how long he will be able to hold it. Because this 51 car is quick.
It definitely is indeed, but they bring it on around turn 3 here. They'll continue on by, and I'll get more into the chat here in a minute. But right now at turn 3, they come on around. It's Parker still holding on, but you can see CJ Creaky got the draft and a hard charge. A full throttle assault has initiated. He takes it to the inside. Parkhurst is in trouble.
Yeah, he gets right there on that quarter panel right there, and he's just going to pull him back and complete the pass here in turn 1. That's going to open the door for the 17. He drove it in a little too hard, so he had to back way off.
Parkhurst not giving up, though. He's going to give the hard charge back at him. He wants to try to make it by. He gets on his corner panel into him a little bit. They hold it clear, though. And Parkhurst now straight to the bottom. He tries to defend off. He knows Creaky's coming. He gets a pass by him, just like what Ed Morgan did to him earlier.
That was a beautifully executed crossover move right there from the 51 car. Now open the door for the 17. He gained a lot of ground on these two coming out of turn 2.
He definitely has indeed. Out of turn 3 they go here. They'll bring it on by and around here. Swinging on through the front straightaway here. Matt Parkhurst and CJ Creaky and Ed Morgan. 3 of the Rev Limit Racing's top tier drivers looking for one last chance, one last opportunity to take this one on home. And real quick in the chat here, but just heads up, he said it's Sunday night, so if you're free, maybe you can talk. I'm extremely busy on Sunday nights, unfortunately, so.
Yeah, just we'll talk about it after the race.
Okay, well, yeah, you can go in just go to the chat and talk with them there, but thanks again to Josh for at least tuning on in, buddy. We do appreciate tuning on, bud.
The 17 gets right around the 77 there. And yeah, I think he has something for the 51.
I think he does indeed. They'll bring it on through here, and then Morgan now. He's hard charging. He's fighting, man. This guy, I swear, man, he does not quit. If I even try to make him quit, he just will continue to fight. Oh! I was going to say fight, but it looks like Parkhurst gets right into the wall there out of turn 3. Hoping that draft would stick in a little harder and took a nice lick and a half there.
Yeah, but I think the 17 struggles on turn 1 more than the other two. So he loses a lot of time on turn 1 and gains it back in turns 2 and 3.
I can definitely agree to that, but look at this now. Ed Morgan has a little help from Parkhurst. They don't want CJ Creaky to take this one by on him as they bring it on around turn 2. I expect a big crossover coming down and around out of turn 2. Here, the 3 wide salute has initiated yet again. They told it. It's held out of turn 2. And it looks like CJ's going to get the better run off of that. Can he hold on, though? Here comes Parkhurst to the bottom. He tries to get on that rhythm section. He's on the bricks. Can't quite get past Creaky there. Creaky is going to hard charge it through.
As the 17 goes around, that's just terrible, terrible luck. That's heartbreaking.
Unfortunately it is, but around turn 1 here, and Morgan, I mean, unfortunately struggling here, but Matt Parkhurst and CJ Creaky still at each other's throats. This one not over yet.
No, it's not. These two guys have the 77 I'm really proud of. He has found some speed, and he is hanging tough with a 13-time winner of this series. So he's definitely got something to prove.
He definitely does indeed. He's not giving up at all here. This is incredible racing here from everybody here, and nobody giving an inch. And also in the chat they're saying it ain't over till it's over. You're dang right about that, boys. You can't quit until the end, and right now, this one rolling on down, this one could get interesting here. Parkhurst and CJ Creaky are not done with this one yet, folks.
Yeah, and unfortunately the 17 will most likely go a lap down.
And it looks like that's going to be the case as Parkhurst actually makes a nice jump there around this 51 of CJ Creaky there. Coming on in around turn 1 there. It was a big jump and a half, and it gave it to Parkhurst. Parkhurst desperately trying to hold on to this one, trying to stay in this one. They'll come on around turn 2 here, but I think Creaky's lost momentum here. Something has gone wrong there for the 51.
Yeah, I think he don't know what to do in dirty air because the whole race has been out front and cleaner. So now he's got to make an adjustment on pit road to get his car to drive the way he wants in the 30.
Definitely for sure there, and right now it's not working too well for his advantage. May have just a little bit too much tape on that thing, and it might just be kind of overheating the car and the tires up a bit. And if that's the case, that's dangerous for him because he knows as a driver, you know, you have to stay clear of any wrongdoings or damage that can hurt you later. And right now that definitely hurts you later on. I've seen it before where it only takes like one little thing of tape to make the difference or make or break a race. Right, yeah, it's either too much tape or he's trying to save a little bit of fuel to get a few laps to pit after this incident. I don't really know. I'm not on the headset to hear what the team's talking about. Well, maybe you should go down there and find out for me, for crying out loud. I thought I told you to go and talk with those guys when you got a chance here. What was wrong with you? Well, nonetheless, here as we get him on around here, Haybell in that 88, man, I'll talk about him for just a minute. Haybell, when we first saw him, he was a guy that to me just screamed like, I want to dominate everything and I'm here to race my tail end off to win. And then CJ Creaky came along, and then all of a sudden, like, we started finding more and more guys that had that mindset, but a lot of them had a hard time catching up to others and try to battle them through for wins.
I think, I don't want to misspeak, but I think Haybell conceded his playoff spot a few weeks ago because he has school on the Thursday night race. So I think he just conceded his playoff spot.
That is the case, then, you know, that is the situation. But I mean, right now though, he is still pretty much kind of doing his own thing here, kind of racing his own line and area, and definitely giving it for what it's worth. He's still not out of it yet here. CJ Creaky out of turn 3 just cost himself precious time and a half. He spins it on around, And that just gave Parkhurst the opening I think he was looking for. I don't know what on earth happened, came out of turn 3, but he just spun the tires, and that car went straight into the wall.
It looks like beginning of the season, CJ Creaky, he used to spin out every time going off the road. He had fixed it, or he had worked on it, but it looks like the old CJ Creaky is creeping back in again, spinning out on pit road again. Let's see how the pit stop goes.
For sure there. I mean, right now, though, as they continue on down around here, everybody kind of bringing it on through, just trying to finish this one out and about, trying to hold on for what they can.
It only takes one caution to bring these boys back together.
It definitely is. Here, real quick, though, in the chat, just kind of give everyone a little love and support here. Of course, Files joined us in. Scott Kaysen has done it in. Justin Burke, it's good to have you on still here, buddy. And we'll have you guys talk with them later here. But Triple Trey, hey, it's good to have you on by as well. And, of course, Jordan Hurst has joined us on it as well. So thank you, everyone, again, for tuning on in. We do appreciate you guys.
You're very welcome.
Wait, you Jordan Hurst?
I was telling them to talk to me on Facebook about this.
Okay, sorry. Would you get back to the damn race already, for crying out loud? I thought I told you to stop talking to him like that. God. Let's get back to the race. And Morgan right now, currently, still desperately trying to hold on for lap time and gain in position and hoping to maybe secure this one through here for a later race.
Yeah, I still don't think with him pitting when he pitted, which he had no choice but to pit. I still think he's going to be short about 4 laps. And I think the other guys have either just enough or 2 laps short as well.
Well, I'll tell you one thing right now, CJ Creaky, I hate saying or being a heavy downer, but I think his night might be over with, because if you look real quick on that car, the damage has been done to the front. There is so much damage on that machine, the aerodynamics aren't there anymore, and that car honestly is literally 1 second away from blowing a motor. That little spin around might have just gave the win away to Matt Parkhurst, and Parkhurst, I gotta believe right now, is just jumping in his seat and just relaxing to the extent of here.
Yeah, well, like we talked in the pre-race, to win a championship, you gotta be mistake-free, and 3 of the 4 guys have all made mistakes tonight.
Definitely for sure there.
And the one guy that didn't make a mistake is 9 seconds ahead of the field. That's coming at 10 laps to go. So, it just goes to show you that we don't just talk because just to talk, we actually know what we're talking about.
Definitely for sure there. Right now, though, enough said in the number 1 right now. Going to do war here with the 17 of Ben Morgan, backs it off here. You can really see him how hard he has to back off that corner and how he'll come right back on the attack here. Just trying to make a nice pass by and around he goes here. Nice jump there, and he'll bring it on through out of turn 3 here, looking for a nice run there. But in Morgan going to bring it back to the bottom there. Looks like enough kind of ran that one a little too hard, and Morgan looking to pick and pay for that one.
Yeah, he is. I don't think one car will race him as hard as what he would early on in the year, because he's not racing for a championship and the 17 is.
But he's still, in my opinion, also kind of looking to maybe gain some ground and really build up some momentum as well for later on in his series and times. And it definitely is showing right now, in my opinion. He's definitely giving it quite a run here.
Yeah, the 8 car is back in the grass, spinning out again. So I think it's fair to say that the 8 will not be a series champion tonight.
Now with that kind of damage on that car at this point, no, and it's a very tough break, because, I mean, come on, man. Well, he's back in turn 3, still spinning out. Look out down here, look out. Might have some drivers get into that situation. He's going to try to get it down and about. You saw that right there, and Morgan and them coming by him, and he's able to get out of the way. Thankfully, good sportsmanship on his end, but I got to believe, like you just said there, his night may be over with, but he's definitely got to be frustrated.
Definitely, and like we say, it's hard to not just to get mad in the situation, because right now he's going to be 2 laps down, and it's just, even when if they pit and he takes away ground in a free pass, he's still going to be 1 lap. So, I think 7 to go, his championship hopes is over. It's tough because he really raced a really good, hard season.
He definitely did indeed, but unfortunately, like we said, it did not quite work to his advantage. It didn't quite work the way he was hoping for, and It definitely shows, unfortunately, but you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But I think if Ed Morgan didn't make that mistake earlier, this might be a much closer battle. And obviously, CJ Creaky made that huge mistake that cost him dearly, and that's really opened the door up to Matt Parkhurst to just absolutely run away from this one here.
Yeah, there's always three things you need to be good: a fast car, a little bit of skill, and a lot of luck. And 77 has got a lot of luck tonight. Now I'm not taking away from how he can wheel a car, because he can wheel a car, but this championship kind of fell into his lap in a way.
I would say so in this case, considering what he's got going on right now, what he's doing. He is just, I hate saying it, man, but he's just literally rocking on borrowed time right now. He's just absolutely taking this one away from everybody.
And I don't want it, and I'm not dissing him when I say that, because he's a really, really good race car driver, really talented, and he earned this championship. But with all the other three contenders making mistakes, it just made this championship a lot more easier to go get.
Definitely in that case, but right now, folks, as he continues on around here, still holding his own and still holding his spot up, Parkhurst, I believe he's not too far off from taking this one away. How many laps we got left here, bud?
We're coming to 6 to go, and I know the 17 has got to pit again. I don't know about the 77. I would say he might be a lap short.
He could be indeed. He might. I'd say right now, as they're working on down around here, you can see a lot of the field kind of battling on back. JG Galladay, I think he just had a little bit of an error there, and then Morgan, and enough said, number one, making their move on around him there. And War Daddy just, man, he's hard charging, but unfortunately, I hate saying it, but I think his night is just over with, unfortunately, as well.
Yeah, that 8 car's on fresh tires, and I know it doesn't reflect on the stream, but he got his damage fixed. He's 2 laps down, fresh tires, so he's just going to drive by these cats, but it's all for nothing. And I applaud him for not leaving the races. There's a big wreck there with 2 of the playoff contenders. I don't know if that was caused purposely or not.
I would hope not, but Ed Morgan, man, his night is all but over with.
That's going to bring out a caution.
Oh boy, man, I just got told in the chat I better not jinx anybody. I apologize, guys. I'm going to get a lot of hate for that one. Josh Laws joined us on it. He's saying, this is Wolf. Didn't run tonight. Been working on trying to get sponsors for the league, and I'm in talks with one right now. We're sure to go with through. Congratulations there, bud, and hopefully everything gets situated out there for you, bud.
Alright, so this brings everybody back. I expect to see one hell of a restart.
Well, you had to bring it back to reality. Meanwhile, I'm over here just kind of yapping my mouth away, and I was not expecting that, of all things. This was not the finish we were expecting here.
Definitely not.
As they bring it on around, though, it is time to go green flag racing one more time. Who will be able to take this one home?
3 laps to go. Everybody's good on fuel. 1751 and the 77 are right back there. Unfortunately, the 8 car is still 2 laps down.
He definitely is indeed, but CJ Creaky just kind of got himself a blessing in disguise, and right now he's making a hard charge around to that back straightaway here. A-Bale gets out of the way here. CJ looks for a big run there on Parkhurst, and Parkhurst defends as only the way he knows how. He is giving it everything he can, and Morgan is desperately trying to get back into this one too. Whoa, and the 24 of X-Murder gets a nice little lick and a half there. Now get knocked through the turn there. The top 3 for the last time will get 2 laps to finish this one on by. And I don't even know if I was expecting that or if I was trying to jinx anybody, but CJ Creaky has got something going here with a little help from his teammates. As they bring it on down around, Parkhurst, I hate saying it, man, but I think I jinxed you. They come on around out of turn 1 here. He's still trying to defend it off, and Ed Morgan is desperately trying to fight this one off.
Yeah, 77 almost got clear, but the 51 put his nose right there on that quarter panel. This is a good battle, guys.
This is indeed. They're coming on down the way they go here. No time left for mistakes. No time left for chances or errors. You either win it or you don't. And Morgan desperately trying to get around Parkhurst. We'll have one to go this next time by. CJ Creaky, I gotta believe he had a blessing in disguise as the 3 wide salute initiates right behind all of them. Can Morgan get the draft off Creaky? Creaky's gonna go to the inside and try to fend him off here. He knows he's coming for him.
Yeah, he definitely does know he's coming for him. And if I'm CJ Creaky, this is the white flag lap out of the way. I'm a little nervous.
Well, it's like I went from I was not going to win this to, oh my god, I have a chance and a half. Like, how the heck does that happen? CJ Creaky, though, coming down the wire here. This is going to be a big finish coming up. Coming around out of turn 2. Let's see how this one plays out. It just needs one more draft round for Morgan to catch him. And then Parkhurst is desperately trying to help him out here. They'll come on through here as they work him on by there. Trouble there in the back. Straight away, they're getting into it a little bit there. But coming out of turn 3, going in, there they go. And it looks like CJ Creaky has all but wrapped up the season championship. Taking it on home. He wins it here at Pocono. And maybe one of the most wild seasons I think I've ever had a showcase for PTM Racing TV. What a finish.
Yeah. That was an awesome finish. I know the 77 is heartbroken right now, the late race caution, but hey, it happens. It's what you never know when they're going to come out.
You never know, indeed. You know, we could all say we've been in his shoes before. We've all been through it before, but I mean, you never have truly been through it before unless you are in that driver's seat at that time in that place, because some drivers are just more dedicated than everything to win these things. And I'll admit flat out, I probably jinxed them, so again in the comments section, I apologize. That's my own fault. But this was just an incredible series in the season, and I know Parkhurst was definitely proud of this one all the way through, so I cannot wait to pull him in real quick and have a little chit-chat. Let's have CJ Creaky come and join us on in here, and you know, full credit to everybody again. The top 4, you know, again, what a race and what a season they had. They all gave their heart, they all gave their fight. But, you know, tonight, CJ Creaky was just a little bit faster. And speaking of faster, he was the fastest of that series. And this tonight, he wins it all here. If you want to go ahead, you can bring him on in now. We can talk with him here. Yeah, I'll pull his car up so that way people can see his car.
Okay.
I don't know if I got him.
All 4 of the championship guys in here, and we'll just talk to them one at a time.
Oh yeah, we can do that. That's fine. I don't know if the folks at home wouldn't mind hearing our top 4 here tonight. Definitely, I would like to talk with Parkhurst about that one. That was crazy.
All right.
Alright, so we got all the drivers in now?
Well, just to send them the invite. Hopefully they join.
Okay, so it was, just remind me again, it was War Daddy, CJ Creaky, obviously, and then Matt Parkhurst and Morgan, right?
Right.
Okay. I guess I'll kind of show the Jimmy Johnson 48 just as a little show of respect, because obviously the aid of War Daddy, so well, hopefully he gets in here.
Hopefully.
Did you remind him too? Also, this is PG. Don't say anything stupid.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Just double checking. I know we had that happen at one time where we were on we were doing the podcast here and we forgot about that, so we just said screw it. We're just gonna make it rated you know, 17 plus.
All right. Yeah. This is PG-15 and up.
For sure there.
I just told them to make sure the championship 4 join us. Hopefully they do.
I hope so too. Oh yeah, well, just ask them as well. Maybe the race officials here, maybe they can get him on in here and get things taken care of.
Yeah.
In other news, if anybody that likes football, just a little joke here, but the Jets have a 10-point lead over the Patriots right now. That is amazing. I don't care for either team, but I do love it when the Patriots get their butts whipped sometimes. That's just me, though. I'll get hate for that one, I know it.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Well, I guess also let's just kind of chit chat about the season here, man. This was all around, man. I know you were talking on Thursday nights. I came in really late with the Mondays, kind of to help out, for the broadcast and all that. And there was definitely a lot of good moments and good times in here all the way through.
Yeah. Hey, here we are at the race winner. How are you doing tonight?
Oh man, I feel like I stole that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, big mistake you had on pit road, but caution came out, helped you out.
I guess, man, the tires get so worn, and then you have any wheel in it at all and tap the brake, thing just turns around. I knew it as soon as I hit the brake, it was going.
So I got to ask you real quick here, CJ Creaky. I mean, you joined us on in here. You won the season championship and all that. You did say the tires spun out a little bit there, but I mean, well, talk us through that last 3 laps. What the heck was going through your mind when you got the draft built up and you got everything figured out in to run that last bit in?
Well, I felt like I had a good starting spot there in 5th on the inside, and I knew most of them pushed up the track, and I got lucky, and Matt was trying to, clear the 2nd place off the corner, and he did. But I think when he camped to the wall, it kind of stalled his run out a little bit, and I was able to get through there, and Haybell backed out because he's wanting to let us race. And I didn't want to be too aggressive there because I had a couple laps to get around him, and I was able to, I think I passed him, on outside coming out of 3 or something like that. But, man, that was intense. I mean, you can't get a cleaner racer than Matt there. He could have easily, moved me a little bit, put me in the wall, whatever. But I appreciate him racing clean there at the end.
Yeah, definitely. So that was win number 12 on the season, and the one that I think the 12th win is the one that mattered the most to you. Basically, you dominated this, and for a while there, I bet you thought that you was going to lose the most important race. Did you think that?
Oh, dude, I thought it was over with. I started spinning there coming out of 3, and I was like, shoot. Just cost myself the whole race, and I think Matt came out. I had like 15 seconds of damage, and Matt came out about 25 seconds ahead, and I was like, I guess I'm just going to run the last 10 laps here and take 5th place, and sometimes you get lucky there, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
congratulations on the championship.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys calling the races and stuff. It makes it a lot more fun to go back and watch it and kind of relive the moments,
Absolutely, indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, your race winner here, CJ Creaky in the 51, and congratulations again there, bud. All right, folks, so let's go ahead and get to Matt Parkhurst here in the 77. And Matt, I know probably don't want to talk with us too much about this, but I got to ask you, man, you had a pretty good run going there and a pretty good battle there to the end, and it just unfortunately you had that situation pop up and it cost you big time. What was going through your mind there, buddy?
That's just how it goes sometimes, Sometimes you're on the good end of things, sometimes you're on the bad end of things, and sometimes it changes just that quickly.
It definitely can indeed here. And at the same time, though, I mean, like you just said, you can go either way. It can go good, it can go bad. I mean, we were talking here in the broadcast, me and Jay Love that was, and we were just saying, flat out, this can be either or. It could be a good race, could be a bad race, and it could be a good day, it could be a bad day. There's just so many things and variables that go in, but you can't help but hold yourself high and say flat out, you know what, I gave it my heart and I gave it everything I had. I came up a little short because of one little thing, but I couldn't really control. That's just what it is. But at the same time, a 2nd place finish here, Matt, that's got to be definitely something respectful that you're very proud to have here tonight, buddy.
Oh, God, yeah. Coming into this season as late as I did, and to get that kind of speed out week in and week out that I did, these guys are no joke, and to compete for a championship with these guys, that says a lot about this league and how good all these guys are. And
right, I want to take it back to when the 51 wrecked there on pit road. Was you just licking your chops inside the car, thinking you had an easy championship tonight?
Not necessarily, because I knew that there was a chance something could happen, and so I was just trying to limit my mistakes and just get to the line, and unfortunately didn't quite make it.
I know this one hurts. This one stings a lot. We don't want to keep too much more of your time. Congratulations on second. I know it's not where you wanted to go, but you look good, and you should be a favorite for next season.
Appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, your second place finisher here tonight, Matt Parkhurst in the 77. Okay, well, real quick, folks, we do have N. Morgan now joined us on in once again, and now he has joined us with the 17 machine. And I mean, that last restart, man, it definitely looked like you could have gone either way, and you gave it all your heart there. But I got to ask you, you had a bobble there out of turn 3, and it cost you dearly there. What was going through your mind until that caution came out?
Oh, man. So we were all, me, Creaky, Matt, just fighting real hard for seemed like the same piece of real estate. And the way I take turn 3 is I get a high entry and can really get the power down low on exit. It just got a little bit too low and mowed the lawn a little bit and wrecked it. So I just decided, well, I might as well take her down pit road, get 4 fresh fuel goods, and just ride it out. And was absolutely praying that a yellow would come out. And I had some guys on fresher tires get by me, and then they got tangled up coming out of 1, and I had nowhere to go. And then I think it was the 48 came in behind me with nowhere to go, and then that reset the field, and then it was a race.
Yeah, it was definitely
indeed
fun to watch that last restart there. It was back and forth battling. I think y'all went 3 wide twice in the last 3 laps to figure out a winner there.
If we could have been 3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide. I was just out the windshield. I wasn't looking left or right.
Definitely not in this case, but I mean, nonetheless, here, I mean, this has been an incredible race series, an incredible season here for you, and Morgan. I guess one little thing we just kind of let it go, guys, for the end of the night here is I just want to ask you, who do you want to thank here for all these finishes and all these battles here, bud?
Oh,
Who
man,
wants to go
I'll
first?
go first.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, for this league, I think we got to give Nick a pat on the back for doing all the social media stuff and pretty much kind of being the guy who separated himself from everybody else. And I think most people look at him as a leader of Rebel Limit Racing group. So appreciate him, and Rich also keeping points, and then just everybody in here that comes out 2 times a week, and puts in effort and races clean, and it's a really fun group. And then lastly, you, Chris, and Jordan for broadcasting the races and making it really exciting for us, and just doing a really good job. So I think those are probably the biggest things I can take away, and give credit to the people who deserve it.
Yeah. I mean, I always said it, and I'll say it again. Y'all do the hard work. We do the easy work when we get into these broadcast booths, and tonight definitely proved just that. But, I mean, nonetheless, here, it was a great show and a great race. Congratulations to all you guys at home. Anything you guys want to say real quick, last words to the camera before we go?
I want to thank, Nick for letting me race with them in the beginning of the season, and then to come back and call the races. I'm having a lot more fun doing that than racing with you guys, because you guys are way too fast for me to compete with.
Well, hey, if you want to come back and race, go on ahead. But it's fun to listen to you call the races.
Well, nevertheless, here, boys, I think that's honestly probably the best way to call it good here tonight. But, I mean, nonetheless, folks at home, if you are wondering still, do look these guys up on Facebook and also watch some of the older broadcasts here on YouTube. I can definitely tell you there's some good stuff here and all that and about. We got to call it quits sometime tonight. So, folks, for everyone at home, thank you again for supporting the show. Thank you again for supporting these guys as well and coming on in. We had quite a few folks tune on in to watch tonight, so it was a good show. Appreciate everybody at home. We'll see you next time when the green flag flies right here on P10 Racing TV. Be safe. God bless. Take care. Good night, everybody.